12 carat toothache is somewhat a headache. With Reputation being the first track on the album, it's boldly honest, and I like that. He is telling his person to save themselves and he can't change, but for some reason, when he's listing all of these things that he's born to do, his voice shake reminds me of a goat. The goat from Hoodwinked in particular. Have you heard of that? Have you seen that movie? No? Okay. Anyways, I really like Cooped Up, but I'll be honest, it reminds me of what he could have released last year or the year before during the pandemic. But I like the beat a lot, and there's, Roddy Ricch adding on there. His offbeat entry is decent, but it's a very short delivery, and I was actually expecting more from Roddy Ricch on this track. Just a quick side note, does anyone wonder why so many celebrities, always use butterflies as representation? I believe it's part of MK Ultra. We've seen, I can just name a few celebrities off the top of my head. Travis Scott, SZA, Kylie Jenner, Mariah Carey, Katy Perry, just so many. It's so just recurring, and with the butterfly tattoos, it's everywhere. It's in so many music videos, and it's everywhere. It represents transformation and so many other things. Anyway, inside note. On his track Lemon Tree, he's letting his country voice sing for itself. This song gives me the vibe that he wants to understand how good he has it. And since he was to grow me something better, unquote, he's angry that everyone else seems fine. So he wants to burn it all down. Great way to solve a problem. Also, I don't know if you've been checking up on Post Malone or paying attention to anything he does. I don't really. It's just something that shows up. He is now engaged and has a baby girl, so that's beautiful. But he's toxic, if all of this is true. This is very toxic and interesting. Wrapped Around Your Finger sounds playful, and the beat makes me think it's one of The Weeknd's throwaway beats. This track gives off reminiscing tones. He wants to go back when he was everything to his girl and her parents, but things have changed, as things do over time. I Like You is a good track. I love that Doja's on the track. She carried the song as usual. He's honest on this track, admitting he wants to spend more time with this person, and Doja is every changing voice ever, and it works every time for her. This almost reminds me of her track with Tyga, Freaky Deaky. I really like that song. I've been feeling freaky deaky. I like that song. I Cannot Be is another honest track. Honestly, all of the tracks are very bold and just out there. This track in particular, Smells of Cigarettes, is in which he describes. I'm not a fan of Gunna, which is the feature on this track, but I think this playful beat works well for both of them. Post Malone wants to know how he can be what people want him to be, which is interesting because that's a big part of his life. That's a big part of being a celebrity, is just sometimes pleasing others and being whatever they want you to be instead of what you want to be. Insane has a nice beat. I like how he's rhyming here, and it's a nice style for him. His voice sounds different, and his ability to change his vocal range is very nice on the track. This could be a possible takeaway, but by the time I finished listening to the song, I changed my mind. Love Hate Letter to Alcohol really sounds very serious when it comes on, like a transformation. Another thing with butterflies. This track has me fully raising my eyebrows. The title for this song is perfect, with the best quotes being, "I couldn't hear a thing because the song was too loud. Last night I had 32 teeth in my mouth. Some went away, and you're the reason why I got my ass kicked. But you're the only way to drown my sadness." When I heard that, I was like, whoa, that's wild. But that's probably the best line from the album. I feel like it's fitting that he had Kid Laroi. How do you say it? Kid Laroi? I think that's how you say it. On the album. It was pretty good marketing tactic since people, typically Gen Z people, listen to him. I'm not really a fan of that track, but I feel like it could have been better. I felt like I was waiting constantly for the beat drop, but it didn't come as soon as I wanted to, so I gave up on listening to it. Euthanasia has a lot of pain behind it. It feels like he's walking in darkness or emptiness. This may be the best track on the album behind Cooped Up and One Right Now, with lyrics like, "Behold a sober moment, too short and far between. I should crack one open to celebrate being clean. When I go out, ain't gonna hurt at all, and into anger, euthanasia." You can hear the struggle in his voice. So I'm glad that was there, but it's still not a personal takeaway for me. When I'm Alone is a nice alt kind of track. I like how the start reminds me of a mid-2000s rock song, or alt rock, however you want to call it. I like that he can play different genres well. It's hard to do that and still get people to listen. Waiting for a Miracle is sad, but it affects so many people. This track seems like it should have been right before the last recording instead of before One Right Now. It kind of jumps back and forth on the feeling of this album, and when looking at the cover, it reminds me of the butterfly, or makes me think of the butterfly getting stabbed by a knife, or some sort of reflection of light and darkness. And we can hear that when some tracks are hot and some tracks are cold. This album seemed more like definitely about his struggle with sobriety, amongst other things, as well as love. But in other ways, he writes his lyrics like his love is drinking and being reckless. I don't have any takeaways other than One Right Now with The Weeknd. I really like the lyrics and I like the video. Apparently, the song is about demons. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? So many songs are about demons that we just constantly listen to and we have no idea, but I don't know if that's true or not. Let me know if you know. Overall, I give the album a C+, mainly because I feel like it could have been a lot more catchy songs, but he chose to be more serious, which is good, because an album should be personal, but it's not something that I'll go back and play, so I'll give it a solid C+. Also, forgive if you heard my air sprayer thing before. I don't know where it was. I'm not going to edit that out. Bye!